We are live now. I am J.R. Whittington. Welcome to my Substack Live, Black with my friends, Black Out Loud. Today's guest is one of my favorite humans.
Oh,
She's beautiful. Did you say, hmm? She's beautiful. She's stunning. She is an actress, and she is now the artistic director at the New Hazlet Theater in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am so proud of her. I am obsessed with her because you should be obsessed with your friends. I want to introduce you to Melissa Cardello-Linton. Hey, Melissa, what's up?
what's going on? I am so excited to be here. I've watched all of your lives, some of them not live, but I watched them after. And I'm just happy to be on here with you. I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Can we pull up our glass because it's time to cheers?
Oh,
Let's cheers. Let's start this thing.
okay.
Melissa had the idea of having a cocktail, so I'm all for it. I'm bougie and I love a good cocktail
Look, I just have to point out that my glass matches my nails. If you want to see a
because
little.
that's how we do. That's how we roll. Cheers,
Yeah.
boo.
But cheers.
Mm. Grab your drinks, y'all. Grab your drinks.
Mhm.
Um,
Ooh, this is going to be good.
so this is gonna be good. This is gonna be Kiki. My goal always is to try not to get us canceled. Travel hard. Travel hard. But
Listen, the way these people get canceled, we'll be good. We'll be good.
we're gonna be good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna rely on you and your beautiful aura and energy.
to protect. Okay, there's protection all around.
All
There's
right,
good vibes. There's always good vibes with us.
always. But we're gonna jump right in. You
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
All right. First question.
Mhm.
Where did we meet and what were your first thoughts of me?
Okay. So this is. I saw this question. This is one of the questions you sent me.
Yes.
And we did, I don't remember exactly where we were when we met. I know we were in school. I've known you since I was a teenager, but I don't remember if we met at Kappa, like in school at Rogers Kappa. For the sake of this conversation, we're just going to say Kappa, even though we know we went to Rogers when it was Rogers/Kappa and it wasn't one school.
Tell the people what Kappa stands for.
The Creative and Performing Arts High School of Pittsburgh.
Yes, 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 yes.
However, now Kappa is middle school and high school combined, and they got a whole ass building overlooking the water that's filled with AC and a whole bunch of other shit that we didn't have.
Yes, yes.
We were in Rogers and Garfield, and then we were in Kappa and Homewood.
But let's talk about Rogers and Garfield was not what it is now. It was the hood back in the day, and now what is
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah, yeah, it was. But my point is, for the sake of this conversation, we met at Rogers,
right.
but we will say Kappa because it's easier for this conversation. But I did okay. So I saw the question, and I had so many memories flood back through, through my head. And I said, I wonder, I love to journal, and I've always loved to journal. And I said, let me see if I have the journal where I was journaling about you.
Oh,
Yes.
come
And
on, journal.
I went and I dug through my storage in the basement. And in the bottom of a bin somewhere, I pulled out this. Are we looking? Are we seeing the dancers?
Yeah.
I don't know why the Pillsbury Doughboy there. I guess I loved carbs. Who knows? But the point is, this is my journal. Okay.
She's big.
This was like an in between. When your journal runs out, and then I don't know, who knows, probably didn't go. We didn't go to Target back then. Where did we go? We didn't go to Target back. There wasn't. I don't know where we went, but the point is, I was obviously in between. So this was a makeshift. Okay. And now look, it's full. It's full. All right. I'm gonna
You wrote
read.
a lot.
I wrote a lot.
I'm nervous about this. What are you going to read about me?
You're gonna see. So
Okay.
this is little Melissa. Melissa is now maybe all of 15 writing this, maybe 14 going on 15.
Wow,
So
we know each other forever, boo. Forever.
okay, so it says So I'm not going to read what I wrote in the beginning, but I always did my entries with Dear Journal back then. We don't do that now, but it was cute back then. Very Babysitter's Club. So so I said down in the entry, I said, sorry, I just got off the phone with James. I really love our relationship. I really, really love him. I just sometimes wonder. This is words of the 15, Melissa. I just sometimes wonder if he feels the same way about me. I'm pretty positive he does. Shout out was planning our marriage, the whole thing.
Oh, we were getting married.
I, I just have the most wonderful feeling inside, and I don't ever want to lose him. Okay, so we go.
Cut to me being gay.
Yes, cut to me, bitch. So we know. So now cut to months later.
Your crush was broken.
Months later. So this is now in the new year. This is in the spring of, so this is past January. That was in October. This is now May of the following year.
Don't you give no dates.
I'm not giving any dates. I'm just saying that it was May of the following year. Calm down. You look like you're 20 anyway. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm nervous because you keep saying you're ready.
Well, this is why I always thought that I was the very first person you came out to.
Okay.
I didn't know it was your mom first.
But I didn't come out. I didn't come out to my mom. My mom made me come out. But go ahead.
But then this was right after that.
Yep.
Okay. So I remember what we were doing.
And what was that?
I'm going to tell you. We were in rehearsal for Buddy Thompson's spring dance concert. And you would have thought we were in rehearsal for Joffrey Ballet, the way that we rehearsed with Buddy. If you know, you know. And so he had us doing this very intricate piece because Limon, it was the whole thing, Jose Limon, and we were partners. Do you remember that?
Yeah, probably.
Right. Yes. So we were partners. And I just remember it was we started off with, I was like on top of you, and then I had a push up, and then you had a pull. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I have that video, by the way. I have the VHS. That's how old we are. But I have the VHS of this concert, and I've watched it a lot. So yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we were front and center because he had us. It was me and you, and then there was Gina Philistine and maybe Tom. What was his last name? Tom. Whatever. You know who?
Tom DeFazio.
Tom DeFazio. That's it. And then I think on the left of us was Erica Shannon. Bitch can still dance. Erica Shannon and whoever. It doesn't matter. The point is, it was me and you front and center. And we were like, we have to rehearse this. We have to get this right, because Buddy was Buddy. And we decided to rehearse in your room. And in my mind, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to tell James. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to confess my love to him. I'm going to tell him tonight.
Oh, I'd have mercy.
Right. So this before I was driving. So I don't know how I got up. Maybe my parents dropped me off or something like that. But I was spending the night at your house, which I did many of nights. And so I had my stuff and we went up to your room, and in your mind, we're just getting ready to rehearse a dance. But in my mind, I'm getting ready to confess my love for you. Because I thought this is the perfect moment. We've been rehearsing together. We've been staying up all night together, talking on the phone. We talk every single day.
Shooting your shot. Shooting your motherfucking shot. Yes.
Okay. So I must have said whatever I said to you, which is probably, I really love you. I really like you. I see it. Who knows what I said? Maybe you remember. I don't really remember the moment. However, when I got home, dear journal, James is gay.
This bitch is a homosexual. I know that's right.
I've known for a while, and I'm hurt. I've been hurting. We're not friends, and I really miss him. This is really vulnerable. Remember, I was like 14 or 15. I feel like a part of me is away, But the sad thing is, it's been this way since March 1st. So, bitch, you weren't talking to me since March. Talk about trauma. This is now May.
Why wasn't I talking to you? Maybe I was. Did I?
Maybe I got mad at you.
Oh.
Ooh, I don't know. You told
Oh.
me. I remember what happened because I think I tried to kiss you or something. I don't know. Something happened, and then you stopped me,
I
and then
said,
you told
bitch, I like the peanuts.
you didn't do that because you were not bold. You let me down easy. And then I say, I remember a time when we couldn't go a day without talking to each other, which was true. Here's me pleading with God now. Please, God.
Come on. On
Listen,
your knees, baby.
listen to it. Please, God, just help me to understand. Please let us talk. Give our friendship one more chance. And then I say, I don't want to lose his trust. I really love him. Now, months later, I guess we're talking. Okay, this is real. This is can you believe this?
This is 15 years old. This is us about to be about to. Well, I was older. I was
Yes.
an older man, and we must note that I did take you to prom.
Yeah, you were always so here's what's beautiful. So I'll spare you, but then I go into later writing a whole thing. The little Melissa thought that she understood love and hate, and how love is a four-letter word and hate is a four-letter word, and it's all in here. But what I realize is, even when you try to hate someone and your soul loves them, you can't. And so da 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 da, and love comes in many different forms, and da da, and then you're in here again. So obviously, I'm writing about you and how our friendship will outlast whatever I say in here. But basically, I'm talking about how much we love each other and how I feel like we're going to be friends forever, which
Here we are.
here we are. And,
Since 15. My
and,
goodness.
and since 15, and yes, you were the older brother who took me to prom, who took me to semi-formal. All
Mm.
I know is you were the guy that was in every picture at my grandma's house. You were the guy that was at every picture at Grandma Dorothy's house. Period.
Oh.
Period. And you
Oh.
know that because you've been to Grandma Dorothy's house, or
Yeah.
rest in peace. But yeah, so that is how long. That is the answer to my question, to your question of how long we've known each other.
Yes. We known each other through crushes. Through we even went to college together. You went to Boston Conservatory.
Yes, I followed you.
Yeah. You followed me to college. That's the reason why you went there.
Yeah, you don't know this
Oh.
because Walter Parson wanted me to go. Jill Wadsworth was a professor at the time at Carnegie Mellon.
Right. And we took her class as kids.
And Walter and Jill wanted me to go to Carnegie Mellon. And I loved CMU. I still love CMU. But for me, I just wanted to, I wanted to get out of,
Pittsburgh.
yeah.
Me too. Same reason.
Yeah, I wanted to experience something new. I wanted to experience something different. And then, the truth of the matter is, this. I mean, I always looked up to you. I was a kid and I looked up to you. And so when I found out you went to Boston Conservatory, I said, well, I'm auditioning for Boston Conservatory too. And then that was a whole thing. And then, went there, and we were one of three
Black people.
we were one of three.
In the whole school.
It was me, you, Keisha. I don't know her last name now, but she's
Keisha Sharp, who is now like
beautiful
on
creative
every. She was
girl.
on Girlfriend. She's
Wow.
on every TV show you can possibly
She's even
imagine.
doing
She
it.
directs TV. She's amazing.
And she's stunning.
She's stunning.
Stunning.
Yeah.
And so it was her, and then Chris Glass.
Yes.
And Chris and I know you're still very close with Keisha. She was in your grade, but Chris and I are still close enough. You know what I mean? He's over in Germany doing his thing and running the world over there.
He's on Substack. I just found out.
Oh yes, you told me that. I know. I have to join this little Substack family.
All right, let's jump into our
Yes.
Blackness second question.
Okay.
This was good. This was a good little catch up.
That's a very.
Cool. I wasn't expecting that.
It is what it is. This is gonna be long, y'all. Get a drink.
Get your drinks, because I have a lot of questions for Melissa.
Okay.
Melissa has also, you've worked with Keanu Reeves. What was it like acting next to Keanu Reeves as with him as your scene partner? Wait a minute, you didn't expect that question, but what was it like?
I didn't. Yeah, it was. Honestly, people ask me that a lot, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. just he was just a real professional. We're still can still kiki, you know what I mean? He was very down to earth, and but also he gave me really wonderful advice. He gave me some little tips and pointers, which I appreciated. But there is a funny story to that, which I mean, if we have time, I could tell it. But I wasn't nervous about working with Keanu, which is a little strange because he's this big, fat, huge movie star. You know what I mean? But I was never nervous about working with him. I was just more like, oh, we're going to have some fun going back and forth. And this is a nice little cool scene, nice little cool role. But I was so nervous to work with Big Daddy Kane.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me
And because, I my dream in life was to be a female rapper.
that. I know that's right.
That was my dream. It was never going to work out because I can't rap, and we must know our limitations. We must know our limitations. But
See,
that's really, if you really ask me, like, what was the one thing that you wanted to be? Is like, I wanted to be like Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like Salt and Pepper. Like that was like
well,
just.
you said salt and pepper. You giving away our age now.
I mean, okay, current times, Lauren London is somebody who I admire right now. But I love female rappers. I love everything about them. And so Big Daddy Kane was this like bigger than life. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's a legend. He's a legend. And so there was one day on the set, it was right before Thanksgiving, and we were all tired. It was a fun day, but it was a long day. It was cold. Everybody was kind of ready to go for the break, for the little holiday, 2 day break. And it was Keanu and I had a really, really long day together. We were in a police station, and we were just shooting the breeze and just talking, whatever. And he had said to me, he goes, "What's going on with you today?" He goes, "You just seem a little nervous. Like, was everything okay?" And I said, "No." I said, "I am." I said, "You can tell?" And he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Did something happen?" And I said, "I'm a little nervous because do you know who's coming to the set today?" And he goes, "No, who?" And I said, "Big Daddy Kane is coming to this set today, and I've got to act across from him." And this is what I loved about him. This is how cool he was. He goes, "Wait a second. Were you nervous to meet me?" I was like, "No, I wasn't nervous to meet you. I'm nervous to meet me." And he started laughing so hard. And so it was just this funny story. But then Kane came, and he was just a gentleman and so lovely. And I love to this day, I'm dying to do another project with him. If there's one person I would love to work with again, it's him. I mean, he was just um, phenomenal in every way, and a really good actor, like a really solid, just good actor.
I
So
love that.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Next question. What is black culture to you?
What is Black culture to me? Whew, that is a I love that question because it's no secret that I grew up. I'm biracial, so I grew up with my white family, who very well, uh,
Italian, right?
Italian and Polish
Yes, yes, yes.
and Ukrainian. But they claim Italian. You know what I mean? If you have like 10% Italian in you, there's something about it that people are just like, oh, forget about all the other things. We're Italian. And they were very loving, like very, very loving family, very loving. Just you met them. Just. I never wanted for love, but for me, Black culture represents. But growing up in a very, at the time, the South Side. I don't know if it's really changed that much, but it's a very white neighborhood, you know. Um, and so
What was it like coming over to my house, which was the hood, and seeing a black family and eating my granny's fried chicken and collard greens and all that stuff as a young person? Did it feel opposite to you?
no,
Was it something?
so that's what it was so beautiful, is that for me, Black culture represents home,
Mm,
love, and community and support. Because in my family, I had that, with my mom, my dad, um, my grandmother. They were very, very, very loving, and there was no sort of "you're other" or "we can't have this person around." You know what I mean? It wasn't ever like that. But outside of my family, in the elementary school that I went to, in the neighborhood that I lived in. I mean, I remember being a kid, I think I was 5 or 6 years old. No, I was 6. Uh, I was like in first grade. And I remember it was the first time my parents let me walk to a sleepover party. And there were two twins. Their names are Missy and Chrissy. And to this day, I hate that name, Missy. I don't like that. That's what I always tell people, don't ever call me Missy. I don't joke about it. I don't play about it. I don't like that name. But they had invited me to their pool party, and it was a sleepover. So my mom, knew their parents, and she packed my bag or whatever, my swim stuff and all the things so that I could go to the party. Bought a birthday present, the whole 9 yards. I remember walking up the steps, going into the party, knocking on the door. The dad answers. And he looked at me. Now, mind you, I'm this little girl. I'm 6 years old. I was a little skinny, little girl. And he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing here?"
Mm.
And I said, "Oh, I'm here for the pool party. I'm here for the. And he shut the door in my face.
Mm.
And I heard him yell to his wife, who invited that nigger girl from down the block. And then he proceeded to open the door. Now, mind you, I'm stunned. I'm like 6 years old, And he proceeded to open the door. And I remember like my heart beating like fast. And I got really scared. I got so nervous. And he looked at me and he said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. There's too many kids in the pool. We're too crowded. We just don't have room for another person. So you're going to have to come back another day. I'll tell Missy and Chrissy." And the man went to reach for the gift. Now, something in me, this is the part of Melissa that is still here today, knew I am not handing him the gift.
Mm.
And so I just grabbed the gift and I turned around and I walked down the stairs. And I remember I went home, and I don't know why I didn't tell anybody. Like, I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell anybody. I just went to my room and I just cried.
Mm.
And I remember feeling like I didn't know even why I was crying. And so, there was a lot of that growing up in a white neighborhood where I kind of felt like I had to fight this battle on my own. And for me, auditioning for Rogers was never about dancing or acting or singing or any of that. It was something in me that knew I would be home. And
Mm.
so for me, it was like the audition was like life or death. And so then that opened up my whole world. And so when I think of Black culture, I always think of home. I always think of community. I always think of family, because I was just so welcome and accepted. You know what I mean? And so that's how I feel about that. And then as an adult, when I think of Black culture now, looking at it now, I always think, of how resilient we are and creative we are, and we invent things, and then all of a sudden the world decides they need them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So yeah.
I love that. And I didn't know that about you. I'm sorry that happened to you. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Next question. Do you
Yes.
think Black artists have it harder? And what has been your personal journey as one?
Ooh, let me gather my words here.
Cheers.
um Here's what I'll say ultimately to the first part of that question. Yes. Just point, yes, full stop. But I will also say that I can't sit here and not acknowledge my privilege, because
Amen.
my proximity to whiteness allows me to have certain privileges. I know it. You know what I mean? So that still doesn't change the fact that the reality is there's just an extra, there's something in us, we know that we almost have to be perfect, because we don't get the opportunity to fail, and we certainly don't get the opportunity to fail up. We just don't. So I do think that ultimately, to say that we don't, it's not harder, or it's all equal, or it's just the same, I don't really think you're looking at it with real clear set of eyes. You know what I mean? Because the reality is, we do, there is a certain standard, and we have to go, there's always this thing of going above that standard just to make sure, you know. And so yeah.
Yeah. We talk about this all the time. The gift and the curse of being 10 times better and always being told that we have to be 10 times better. And how that one phrase provides us to like shoot for the stars and work so hard and has this ethic and but then there's a curse to it too that I think haunts me sometimes because I
Mhm.
always feel like I have to do the most. And now I'm at the point like, bitch, these white these white people up here doing that, then I'm a, this is what you
Woo!
gonna get at this job. Now I'm gonna give you about 10 times better in the acting craft, but at the job, sorry, anybody that works with me as a teaching artist, bitch, you gonna get this, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, but yeah, I'm done. That 10 times better thing exhausts me at the same time, as well as it has gotten me to
Yeah,
a certain level.
yeah.
So yes,
And I think it is that double-edged sword,
yeah,
and it's not me boasting or being sort of, but the reality is I don't, like, I don't ever question, oh, can I do this? Because I know that my consistency and my discipline will always beat the odds. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's because it's been so ingrained in us that um and I think, like when we were growing up, I mean, we had teachers that were very honest about it. I remember Doug Pona, one of the great acting teachers
yeah,
in
yeah.
Pittsburgh. I wonder where he is now.
I know. I don't know.
I don't know. Um, Saying that, he used to say that, just flat out, based on his experiences and based on what he had to go through. And so there was just this thing that was drilled in us. I remember learning Shakespeare in 10th grade and getting to college and going, we're just learning this now. You know what I mean? Like,
That that
you,
that's that's the craziness about growing up in Pittsburgh. I find. I mean, they train you because Carnegie Mellon's right there, and you take with a lot of those teachers. They train you so well that by the time you get to college, you're looking at them like, y'all are just learning this.
right?
Freshman year, I was like, I have learned this in high school. But yeah, we were well trained.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Next question.
Yes.
I'm gonna skip number 4 and go to number 5. What are you tired of explaining to white people?
Mm.
You better pour that drink, boo. I told you we were gonna go in. What are you tired of explaining to
I
white
don't know how
people?
much time we have on this show. Is there a limit to this
There's a
session?
limit. There's a limit. Give the kids something though. Give them
Is
something.
there a limit? Mm, mm.
Hmm.
But in what capacity? Are you talking about in a personal capacity or talking about a professional capacity?
Both.
Oh, um, oh, this is a hard one for me because, again, I have grown up in a very white family.
Mm.
And I have grown up thanks to extended family and friends in Black culture. And so there are extensions of my family that I love very, very much. I love them very much. And I know that there's things that they just don't know. And I know we could have that conversation. Well, if you don't know it by now, then you're never going to know it. And it's your job to, and I do believe it is on the person to do their research and to know better. Like when you
Right.
know better, you do better, right?
Right.
Um, but I also have not reached that point where it's like, oh, I'm tired of explaining this, that, and the third, because I feel like in certain moments where I know that my voice matters, or where I know that what I say, they may be able to see something just a little different to open their mind, then I feel like, that does make a difference. And it's only because I love that person. But then I find myself sometimes in situations where I'm just like, I'm gonna let you go on, just keep going on and thinking like that and being like that because I am exhausted. And so I have to it depends on my mood. It depends on the day. it depends on what happened. I think I get more frustrated. I think in a personal situation, it's funny enough, I can deal with it more, but it's in the professional realm where I really have drawn a line in the sand.
Yeah.
And we see it every day. We see it in our theater community. We see it in the, we see it in the nonprofit sector. We see it in the professional sector. We see it in the, every sector we see it in. And it's like, it does become a thing where so I don't know if I can answer the question, what specifically am I tired of? I just know that there are moments where I'm like, this is exhausting. You don't see that this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You don't see that this doesn't make sense. I'm going to be quiet and let you figure that out. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Um,
I remember when we had to do them diversity trainings, like diversity became very popular. And
mhm,
my biggest problem with the diversity trainings was they would hire these people with PhDs, but they were Caucasians. And I, being the only black person in the room, would be like, "You're going to teach me about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and you white?"
mhm,
And I would shut my screen. And I tell my boss, "I don't need to be there. I know how to do this." It
mhm.
used to drive me fucking crazy. And also, like, the other thing that I'm tired of telling white people is that we're not a monolith.
We're not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, I think sometimes, well, that's the thing that sometimes it will can be a very frustrating thing, especially if you're just like one of two in an organization, one of two, maybe if you're lucky, one of three, maybe if you're lucky. But I feel there's a point where it's like, I don't need you to understand every single reference, but I want you to listen, and I hope that you can catch up.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like, I hope that you can catch up. And also, I for sure am not this spokesperson for, oh, what would black people do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do we say, like, we don't say that about other, I don't find myself saying that about white people.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're going to move on to the next one.
Okay.
What did we inherit that we mistake for love? This is one of my favorite questions.
Uh,
And I actually, I think I stole it from, I did. I stole it from the James Baldwin conversation that
I,
he had.
we love
Yeah.
we love that. Um, so this one I thought about, and a lot, because I was like, oh, I can answer this with this, or oh, I can answer this with this, or oh my gosh, I can answer it with this, which is a problem. Which in and of itself is a problem. And I think that ultimately goes back to being 10 times better, goes
Mm.
back to being more than just being enough, but being the best. And that's why, somebody had asked me, like, oh, are you in competition with da da da? I'm like, that's a joke to me. I just look in the mirror every day and I'm in competition with myself, because I'm like, bitch, you could be better. Bitch, like, I don't need somebody else, because that's just how it was just ingrained in us. But I think ultimately, when I think about what we mistake for love, is, and this is something that I tell myself often, is that we don't need, nor should we ever have to empty ourselves in order to make somebody else feel comfortable, in order to fill
Mm.
somebody else up. And I don't know where this saying came from, but I wrote it down in my new journal, um, which is, you can't get sick enough to make sick people well, and you
Mm.
can't get poor enough to make poor people rich. Meaning, we I feel like there's this thing, at least Melissa from 10 years ago, where I would feel just naturally, I'm emptying out my whole self. I'm giving, I'm giving, I'm giving, I'm sacrificing, I'm sacrificing, I'm sacrificing, but like, I'm not filling myself up. And then we call that love. And then as a mom, I think to myself, would I want my kids to ever do that? Would I be okay knowing that they are just giving out their whole self and not filling themselves up? No, because that's not love. But we're taught sometimes that. Now, do we sacrifice certain things, compromises and things like that? Of course. But are we going to sacrifice our peace, our joy, to make somebody else feel better? No, no, we are not. But I have to still remind myself, oh, if I find myself doing that, if I find myself even in anybody's presence where I'm like, oh, I have to dim my light, I'm out. I'm not dimming my light. And I'm not going to apologize for not dimming my light. Bitch, you need to shine brighter.
I can't. I cannot. But
Because
I love it.
I think we, especially, and I will say this as a woman, as a mom, there's just a lot of giving, and even as a producer, even as somebody that produces, you are constantly thinking about that project, about those artists, about the designers, about this, about that. And I'm happy to do that because that's my job. But if it comes to a place where I'm like having to sort of dim myself to make you feel like you're whatever, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I think that that's something that I have mistaken for love in the past, for sure.
Speaking of producer, I'm going to plug Melissa. I have asked her to be my lead producer on Gay Shit Naked in the Dark, my solo show. And she's going to be working on it with me. And I'm excited to have you on board.
I'm
And I'm grateful for you because I need someone that I trust with my project. And there's no one else that I trust more than you. So thank you.
I am so. I didn't even think you were going to bring that up, but ooh, I'm excited to get into gay shit, honey. And look, I got the receipts. I got
It's
all
going to be,
the receipts. I know
it's
them all.
gonna be good.
Okay, I know I'm
It's
gonna know
gonna be
if you're lying.
exactly. You know my truth.
I do.
Who are you in the middle of becoming?
Oh,
And are you scared of her?
so I wrote some notes down for this one. So give me a moment. And this was again when I think about, there's a lot of personal things that I've been through in the last several years,
Mm.
which were like, oh, my whole heart, and I'm just now, I was meeting with a friend for brunch, a friend. Let me act like you don't know her, Tanika. I was meeting with Tanika.
Who's Tanika? Hey, Tanika. No, I'm joking. We grew up
Right,
together as
for
well.
brunch. And I found myself sharing with her details, very personal details, and saying, oh my gosh, this is the first time I'm really saying this out loud.
Mm.
And realizing that I went through a lot of healing on my own privately and with
Mm.
a therapist, but just for me, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And so this is what I will say is that I know that I am becoming someone who doesn't need permission from anybody to do anything.
Mm.
And I think that if you would have asked me that question 5 years ago, even not even 5 years ago, there's sort of this thing, and there was this thing in me where I felt like, oh, well, I just want some, what does this person think? Or I need some validation over here. Or maybe I need some validation over here. But now I'm just at a place where like, I really truly can say that. Like, I don't feel I need permission from anybody to do anything. I just don't. So I'm becoming and feeling more comfortable, even saying that. I'm feeling more comfortable saying it. So
That is beautiful.
yeah,
And can I have some of that?
you can.
Rub that all over me. Rub it all over me, baby. That sounds good. That sounds good. Uh,
Yeah,
um,
and I want to, like, this is the other thing I think about that is this idea of, I think that a lot of times we look to, um, especially if we're just talking about the actors in us, right? sometimes we're looking to be chosen, right? Whether that's the actor in you, whether that's a relationship, whether that is a job you're going out for. But I find myself, it's very interesting. Like I found myself just this past year alone, I turned down several things, which on paper didn't really make sense. But it was just like I asked myself, do I want to choose that? Like is this something that's setting my soul on fire? Are these people I want to be around every day? Are these people I want to work with day in and day out? And I was able to say, thank you so much, but that's not for me right now. You know what I mean? And so I find that just even being in a place now where I'm discovering, this is new for me, where I'm discovering like I'm I'm not sitting around. I'm choosing. I don't need to be chosen. You know what I mean? If that,
No, it's
yeah.
interesting because I feel like I am exactly there in a lot of my life except for dating. I need to like
Oh, this like
I,
just
I need to like get my dating brain to be like the rest of my brain, because they're in two
well,
separate spheres, and it drives me fucking crazy. But I am daily talking to myself because
yeah.
yeah, it's tough.
That is an interesting dynamic because when it comes to dating, um, I'll be honest. I am a fire sign. I'm a fire sign, so I need you to be aggressive. I don't read signs. I don't like. I don't even know. Like, if you're interested, I want to know. I don't want to guess. I don't want to. Don't
Yes, we
play
know, we know.
games. Like,
Me no boo.
don't
And I'm not
play.
even going to go into detail about a situation that I specifically know,
In.
but
All the way in. I need you to lean in and make it so clear.
we know.
Write it on the wall. Write it. Say it over and over again, because if I am going to choose you, I want to know that you are wholeheartedly choosing, like chase, bitch. You know what I mean? Do not be timid in that area, because at the end of the day, what is like, and also I haven't been out in these streets. You have to remember, I was married for 25 plus years.
With some grown ass kids.
I have grown as kids. So that's the other thing. I see my boys in how they're both in relationships right now. They both have girlfriends. They're both in committed relationships. And out of the clear blue, my youngest son, who's only 21, out of the clear blue, he will, just because, send his girlfriend flowers. No apparent reason, no birthday, not Valentine's Day, just because he thought of her. They don't live in the same city. So he'll just send her flowers, her favorite chocolate. Like, there's no question. She's not questioning, oh, is Christian into me? She knows, because he shows up and he shows. So I'm like, that's a shame that I'm comparing, like, I'm looking to my sons, like, what are they doing? Because bitch, if you can't come to that level, then I don't want it. I don't
Five,
want
six, seven, eight. Get on out.
it. Get
I know
on
that's
out. Keep it
get
moving.
on out.
But don't send mixed signals. Don't play games. So in that way, like, I don't want any, just no time for the nonsense.
All right.
That's a whole other podcast.
We're gonna jump into your current position because I love to
Okay.
jump into this.
I need to take
Um,
for this one.
Congratulations, because you have just recently become artistic director of the New Hazlet Theater.
Thank you.
And before I go into this first question, I want to talk about Pittsburgh. We both grew up in Pittsburgh. I was a performer. You were too, um, for the Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera, and that's where I got most of my training, was at the Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera Academy. Um, Pittsburgh to me, I haven't been back. I've been back to visit, but not back to live in a very, very long time. One of the reasons I think I have this trauma over that city, because my grandmother died at the hands of the cops. She died for just being black. Old woman got killed, um, by the police. And so the city and I have a crazy relationship. Let's just say that.
Mhm.
And on top of it, growing up at Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera Mini Star, which we were called, it was an organization that had a lot of Caucasian people, and there are a lot of people that are famous that are in that organization that I grew up with, that I trained with, and that are still some of my dearest friends. Um, but I remember the first time they had a photo shoot, they
Mm.
invited all of the Caucasian kids to the photo shoot, but somehow forgot to invite the three black kids that were in.
I remember this.
Yeah,
I
and
remember
so
this. I know
yeah,
exactly what you're talking about. I
there
know
were, and it,
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, it was crazy, and it was moments of like that situation. It was moments of like there was a time where there was a TV show back in the day. Ooh, giving away my age. It was called Big Break,
Hmm.
and they invited all of the Caucasian kids to audition for this TV show, but didn't invite any of the black kids to audition for it.
And
And
not
one of,
Mr. Ross.
huh?
And not
Not,
Mr. Ross selling
not
out the Blue Note and everything else all over the world.
Not Kendra Ross, not Romelda, not Shakia Hunley, not J.R. Whittington. None of us were allowed to audition for this. None of us were invited. And one of the Caucasian girls, who I don't want to mention her name, but she ended up getting on the show. It was a show hosted by Natalie Cole. May she rest in peace. It was a really great show, kind of like Star Search, American Idol lead before all of that. Well, after Star Search, but before American Idol. It was called Big Break, and they only invited the Caucasians to audition. They did not let any of the black kids audition because they knew we would slay. And yeah, there was a lot of like hurtful things that Pittsburgh has traumatized me with. And so I'm going to go into this question.
Mm.
This first question. So
Oh.
now you are an artistic director
Mhm.
in Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
where yeah. Um what does it cost you to be a black woman holding the artistic director chair? And why Pittsburgh? What are you actually up against there that people outside of the city don't see?
Mm. That's a layered, that's a very layered question. Um, and first, let me say that it's not lost on me, although I will celebrate this time for what it means for what I hope to build here. And, but it is not lost on me what's happening not all across our nation with artistic directors and executive directors and managing directors of color, even right here in Pittsburgh. What just happened. We know about it. We know what happened. The people just being boom, let go with no notice, no anything.
And
And
this institution is with Pittsburgh CLO, which I was talking about,
mhm,
and the public in Pittsburgh,
mhm, right.
and they just let they did a merger, and now they just let people from the public go
Well, the same day without a notice, right? And so,
without notice.
that's not about black or white. That was just across the board. That wasn't, oh, we're letting you go because you know what I mean? It was just across the board. But what I'm referring to is I'm saying it's not lost on me what's happening all over in our nation, with the sort of, there was something going around in social media, the sort of the bingo card with artistic director and executive director leadership. And you and I have talked about this, long before I had this position where um, it is oftentimes, where these institutions or companies have no problem hiring people of color to act, to dance, to sing. But there is a there's a large hole when it comes to executive leadership, artistic leadership, managing directors within the institutions themselves, because predominantly they are run by white people. The majority of them are all run by white people, and that's why, so it's not lost on me what is happening, what has happened, um, and full stop. Um, my hope is that what we are building uh, at the Hazlet in that just so happens to be in Pittsburgh is that it will create opportunities and more opportunities for Pittsburgh to be seen as a city that, sort of like Chicago, where we had talked about this too before this position, where Chicago is so far away from New York, but it's known for such great theater and sort of so many shows start there and then they end up in New York. And not that that's always the goal, because that doesn't have to be the goal, but you know, I love the idea of developing. I love the idea of building. That's why I love producing, because I love taking something new and from the ground up and just reworking it and working it again and working it again. And in the dream world, I'd love for gay shit. Not that I'm not saying we're doing that with the Hazlet, but whether I do that as an independent producer or we bring that under the umbrella of the Hazlet, we have to see where the right fit is for that. But it's the idea of developing something new and allowing it to go out. And for somebody somewhere in London to say, oh, I saw that in Pittsburgh first, or somewhere in California or Chicago to say, oh, wow, I saw that when they were working on it in Pittsburgh. And whether that be dance, whether that be music or theater. And that's one of the things that I love about the Hazlet is that really what drew me there was two things: the New Works performance series, and the fact that it's multidisciplinary.
Mm.
That's my right. And so I get to work with musicians and also dancers, and then these wonderful playwrights. So it's just this just wonderful mix. But it's I know I'm no fool that I will not have the opportunity to fail or to fail up.
Mm.
So I said that even in a we had a really nice party. It was a collaboration with WQED and the New Hazlet, where they uh, premiered the WQED did a documentary on the history of the Hazlet, which was really beautiful, by the way. People should watch it. It's just a nice little 12-minute documentary, and it goes into the history. But I said out loud, I said, I hope that people will be patient, because when you're creating something new, and I didn't say this to them, but the fact of the matter is, I know that when you are a person of color, you don't get the opportunity to fail. If you fail once, you're out of there. Whereas it's a little different if you're not. I mean, we see it even in this country. White men fail up every single day. May I have that audacity? May I
Of the mediocre white man. I want the audacity of a mediocre white man, Lord.
So I try to just but for me, I really just look at the work, and it always comes down to that, like just really looking at the work, but also the people. That I'm in a place now where I want to build with who I want to build with, and that's why when you asked me about your project, for me that was a no-brainer, because of course of course I'd want to produce your work. I want to work with people who I genuinely enjoy being around. So whether that be you, James Whittington, or putting this into the universe, Big Daddy Kane, but no, because I genuinely enjoy being around certain people. Kendra Ross, who's a friend of ours, a great vocalist. She's a cultural leader here in Pittsburgh, and just a powerhouse of a vocalist. I am just thrilled that she said yes to working with me on our Sounds of the Season holiday production that we're doing for the second time around this coming year. And so she's now taking the lead on that, and we're working with a wonderful group of musicians and some other vocalists, and like just to be able to be in a room with people that you genuinely enjoy and create with them, that's a win.
I am so proud of you. Look at Melissa.
I know.
Look at you go, boo. I'm obsessed. Yes. I'm so
It's
proud of
so
you.
funny because even when we talk, still to this day, I still look at you as my big brother. So it's like, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. Please. We are family. as the song say.
like a giant tree.
Oh, I know
Woo!
that's right. You went to Dreamgirls, and I was thinking of We
Oh,
Are Family, and you went to
I
Dreamgirls.
was thinking of Greek girls,
I'll
honey.
take Dreamgirls. We
Mhm.
are family. All
Yes.
right. That's a great answer, and I think Pittsburgh is blessed to have you. I think you're going to create. I don't think. I know you're going to create amazing works, and I can't wait to fly into the city that traumatized me to see the work that you created.
Not the traumatized.
Can't wait. No, I mean, like, I will say this, like, Pittsburgh trained the fuck out of us.
Yes. Yes.
I am so fucking trained from that city. I mean, they taught me, how to kick my face. They
Yes.
gave me the best voice lessons. They gave me the most wonderful acting classes.
Mhm.
I was ready for New York City. I got to Broadway pretty fast. I got to
Mhm.
national tours pretty fast.
Mhm.
And a lot of that comes from the training. They trained the fuck out of me. But two things can be true. They
Yeah.
could be a wonderful city that trains you, but also have a lot of uh,
Yeah.
just
Two things to be true.
racism.
Yeah. No,
But
and
yeah,
that's real. And that's real. And I think those two things are absolutely can be true. And that's your truth. And I think you have to stand in your truth. And I always say, Pittsburgh raised me, but Brooklyn made me. you
amen.
know?
Amen.
So it is, yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to skip to number 11. Forget the mission statement on the website. What's the mission you'd still be chasing if nobody funded it?
So you asked me this question at one point. I don't think you remember that, but
Did I?
you did. We were talking on the phone about something. Not,
Child.
not this.
Oh.
Probably a date or something. Um, you know, this is for me. Say the question again. Forget the mission.
Forget the mission statement on the website. What's the mission you'd still be chasing if nobody funded it?
Always and forever me. Meaning, like, no matter what, I'm always going to build. I'm always going to bet on, as cheesy as it sounds, I will always bet on myself. I'm a builder, so I'm always going to build. Um, and, I think no matter what, I have been drawn to new works for a long time now. And so that's something, whether it be a new work in the form of a podcast, in the form of a play, in the form of a television series, I'm always going to, um, I see myself always doing that because that's what I love. So regardless of, institutions come, institutions go, but my mission is always that, to create work. And I feel like, theater is just live performance, and theater is just one small portion of where I want to go. It's just sort of scratching the surface. But, I mean, we've talked about this. I see that in developing television. I see that in producing, work for the podcast world. So at the end of the day, I'm always going to produce.
I love that. All
Yeah.
right, these questions, one word only,
Oh
two
God.
words max.
Did you just freeze?
I did freeze for a second, but
Okay.
am I back?
You're back.
All right, one
Okay.
word question.
Oh
Here you
no,
go.
I'm good with one word questions. Okay.
Two words. Favorite black musical.
Oh, okay. It is two words. Shuffle along.
Awesome. Oh, come on, shuffle out. Favorite black playwright.
Oh, this is I'm gonna go. Oh, see, okay. Uh Susan Laurie Parks. And I'm gonna say this is because, for many reasons, but seeing her red letter plays at the Signature Theater in New York City was, you had to see them back to back. And then and everything else that she's written. I mean, Top Dog, Underdog. I mean, just the list goes on and on. But I would say that. But can I also? Does this have to be a one word? Because then I feel
Yes.
that I'm leaving out.
We're sticking with Susan Laurie Parks.
Okay.
uh, play you never direct.
Play that I would never direct.
Yeah.
Play that I would never direct.
Yep. One
There's
that you
so
just.
many.
So there's a lot of plays that you don't want to direct.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Um. Okay, and it's not because I don't like this play, but Eureka Day.
Okay,
And
love
I'm
that.
only saying that because they just did that, and I love it, and I love the director that directed it recently. He did a fantastic job, but I just thought, oh, I would not want to direct this play, even though I
All
like it.
right. What play do you want to see that's not in Pittsburgh right now?
What play would I like to see in Pittsburgh?
No, that you want to like just go experience that you haven't seen yet. That's not in Pittsburgh.
Oh, there is there's a few. Oh,
One.
okay. One. If I just had to pick one, actually, there is a play that I'm going to see that I'm very excited about. Very excited about, and I hope you will come with me.
Of
Um,
course.
I'm going to Baltimore Center Stage to see Balking, and honey, I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see Balking. I cannot wait to go to Baltimore Center Stage. I love what they are producing right now. And also, just back to our conversation, talking about artistic directors and artistic leadership, executive directors, led by two Black men. I mean, they're just doing the thing right now. So I'm very excited to see Balking.
And you forgot the most important part, Lena Waithe.
Oh, yes.
That's the producer. Shout out to fucking Lena
I'm
motherfucking
going
Waithe.
to, okay, Lena, but I don't know her and I don't know if she'll be there. But yes, hats off. I love what she's doing, but I really just want to see this play. It looks
Yeah.
it's like a lot of fun. So
I want to go
I'm
too.
looking forward to that. Yeah.
Sounds like a date. Sounds like a date.
Oh, okay.
One word.
Okay.
Favorite thing about yourself.
Oh, one word. Fire.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
You said that so sexy. You just like,
What?
oh, that's right. I know that's right.
You know. I still got it at
You
this age a little
did.
bit. I be trying to give a little something something. Well,
Mhm.
Melissa, thank you for joining me. This was easy breezy, right? And the
I
time flew.
This was a time. I loved it. I'm ready. I'm ready for our. Um, we're supposed to do a threesome. No, no, no.
I'm like, when did I agree to that shit, bitch? I don't remember that shit. When I agreed to a threesome.
Not in a sexual way. Not in a sexual way. In a podcast. Stop. Just for the sound bite, honey. That's the producer me going, okay, that's a nice little clickbait. No, we're supposed to do something. Aren't we seeing Wanted?
Yes, we are going to go see Wanted.
And who else is coming? Who was just on your who did you just interview? Tiffany.
Oh,
Tiffany.
so yeah, I want to.
And Tiffany, and we'll discuss.
Yes, I want to see Wanted, Imitation of Life, Purple Rain. So many wonderful Black musicals coming to the broadest way, and they
Yes.
didn't cast me in it, but I'm still going to go. But I'm very, very excited, and I'm so blessed to know you. I'm so blessed to have you as a sister, as a friend, to know someone since we were like 14, 15 years old, and still be friends all these years. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you're about to do. I'm proud of the work that you've done in the past. You are an amazing woman, amazing mother, and I just love you. Thank
I
you for
love
joining.
you. Thank you. I
You
love
know, I'm calling you right after this.
I know.
Thank you all that joined us.
Yes. I don't know who joined us, but thank you.
Bye, boo.
Bye, baby.